Good evening, Assalamu alaikum, and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm your host, Ahmad Nawaz. The evening is once again a galore at the Gaddafi Stadium in Lahore. It's going to be the third T20 international between Pakistan and Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka are going to conclude their tour to Pakistan for the year 2019, and they'll want to do that on a high because they're taking back something which nobody really expected this team to take back from, because they've won the T20 series 2-0. If they do this, the final one again, they're going to do a clean sweep of the #1 side in T20 international cricket. Sounds a bit harsh to hear that, but that's the reality once you're supporting Pakistan. Of course, if we just go back to the grounds as well, give you the visuals, I think the bigger aspect of the game is that Gaddafi Stadium has turned pink today as far as the rest of the country that has been promoting this. This is Breast Cancer Awareness Week that we are going through. The stadium is pink, the stumps are going to be pink. The Honorable President of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, Dr. Arif Alvi, would be there as the chief guest of this ceremony as well. He would be pinning these pink ribbons on both the teams, both the playing 11s and the umpires as well. Meanwhile, quite a lot of ribbons, close to 13,000 ribbons would be distributed amongst the crowds as well, apart from about 700 pink t-shirts that will also go out to the crowd that is coming to the Gaddafi Stadium in Lahore. This is all for a bigger cause, and that's what tonight's game really means. But for Pakistan, it means more than that, because they're playing for redemption. If they don't win today, it's going to be a clean sweep, and those questions and criticism that has been coming is going to take another turn. Now, if we talk about the news from the center, then Sri Lanka once again winning the toss, and they've elected to bat first. It's going to be a new wicket. Sarfaraz announcing those 3 changes as expected. I'm not pretty happy about that. Umar Akmal, Ahmed Shahzad and Hasnain are missing out, while Iftikhar Ahmed, Haris Sohail, and with them Usman Khan Chandwari have been added into this side. I really wanted Umar Akmal and Ahmed Shahzad to have this final go so we can say goodbye forever, but looks like time will tell what's going to happen now. It's really a tough ask now for Misbah-ul-Haq and the captain, who's in a lot of criticism. Now, to talk all of this and give you the match in detail once it starts at Gaddafi Stadium in Lahore as well, I've been joined in studios by cricket experts. He's a great sports personality himself as well. He does a fine sports show on one of these channels here from Islamabad as well. He's none other than Mr. Rizwan Haider. Assalamu alaikum, how are you?
Wa alaikum salam, I'm good.
Great to have you here.
Thank you very much.
And we also have a good cricket expert. He is really passionate about the game as well. And a couple of things he said actually were to be there in the ground to see, and definitely he shares the same pain as all of us Pakistani fans are saying as well. We have Mubaram Imran. Assalamu alaikum, how are you?
Wa alaikum salam, I am good, alhamdulillah.
Excited?
Well, what to say?
Not that much actually. Right, Rizwan, let's start from you. I guess this third T20, let's face it, Sri Lanka will not take it easy, because a clean sweep would really mean a lot for them going back into this series. On the other hand, we do believe it's going to be a lot of pressure on Pakistan.
Yes, exactly. And it's in a way a funny situation that #1 ranked team is under pressure from the second string Sri Lankan team. And it's funny in a way that Sri Lanka, they are testing their bench strength. They have made 5 changes. And before the series, we were thinking that we should give a go to our youngsters, upcoming players. But how the things change in a couple of matches, that now their B team, or what you can say, or not the first priority team, they are further testing their bench strength against the #1 ranked team.
And we're playing our experts.
Yes. Anyhow, Pakistan, they did the right changes, I guess, today, because there was no point that Haris should have been dropped. Because he's been doing so well, not only in the ODI cricket, but also in the T20 cricket as well. Look, you need to bring improvement in the format in which you are doing wrong. That is Test cricket and ODI cricket. Why you are doing changes or bringing unnecessary experiments in a format in which you are doing so well? This is not the point. If a player is doing well in PSL, it's not necessity that you have to put him in the main team in which you are doing so well. So this is what you could call ridiculous changes they made. So I hope, as you mentioned, that it would have been nice if they have given another chance to Umar Akmal and Ahmed Shahzad. So that talent sort of thing that we've been listening since ages. So rest of the world, they also witnessed that what about that talent is. But as I mentioned, Misbah should have given chances to the youngsters. but this is not the way that you keep bringing the proven failures again and again into the team just on the basis of PSL, that they are doing well in the PSL, but it has been proven time and again. Okay, fine, they do good at the domestic level or in the PSL, but when they come in the national team,
it's a different
they have
thing.
disappointed time and again.
And it's a different
Apart from couple of innings of both the players, like I can't recall any match that they have contributed a lot for the victory of Pakistan.
Just one or two performances there as well. Mubaram, do you agree? Because if I put a food for thought there, I definitely, if I look at the entire Pakistani squad right now, Babar Azam is a class apart, but definitely he's not going to be there every time and perform for you. You've got to have other options. If I exclude Babar Azam, the only solid and proper cricketer in the Pakistan side as a batsman who I see is Sohail. And his inclusion into the side gives you two things, a balance and a connection between the middle order and the lower middle order as well. And he can bat through at the same time, and he has the ability to hit sixes.
Exactly, these two are the players which, you know, you need to have them in the squad, otherwise your teams just collapse, as you have just experienced in the past T20 matches. And we got a little bit overconfident as we won the ODI series in Karachi. So let's just say it's okay. I totally agree with your statement you just mentioned in the start that it should have Ahmad and Umar Akmal should have been included.
Yeah, give him the final chance.
Exactly. My stance was that let them play. Let's sacrifice the series on these two so that. Because as we discussed earlier in the previous show that Umar
we have already sacrificed the series.
I was going to say that.
Yeah, that was actually a point. But as I discussed with you earlier that Umar Akmal was, the main concern of Umar Akmal was that we don't, you know, the cricketers, the PCB don't send him to the one down in an upper order. So we have seen that how he has performed in the upper order. So yes, that's going to be a goodbye. That should be a goodbye for Ahmad Shahzad and Umar Akmal for the international cricket, because they are not the one who can perform. You cannot even perform in your home ground, which you have been playing for ages now. It's okay, you have come like after Umar Akmal did not come after a long time. He was playing in Australia. A series against Australia in Dubai. So it's not been so much while that he has resumed the international cricket.
Then he came back into the PSL and then another ball game. I'm so happy that I have a fellow sports anchor who does a show from Islamabad with me today. Because when I ask guys who do programs from Karachi about the fact that the captain is in the most horrible forms of his life and he doesn't deserve to be a captain if he keeps on playing like this because his place in the side is a question. They don't agree. And the Karachi lobby will never agree to change a captain. And I say this on live television because I'm not afraid of it. Do you agree with that?
Yes, you should not be afraid, and you are making sense, to be very honest. Look at the wicket keepers around the world. From our neighbors, youngsters, Rishabh Pant, look at the way he bats, and Dhoni, he's still like playing, and look at the other teams. There's England, there's Bairstow, Butler, then there's de Kock, even the Shy Hope, that is West Indies wicket keeper. He is so good. Even Bangladesh wicket keeper, I believe that he can do better what Sarfraz is doing at the moment. You can't argue that Sarfraz is best captain. I don't think so. Because they give the example of the Champions Trophy. Okay, fine, we won the Champions Trophy, but we did well because our bowling or batting, they were in supreme form during that period of time, and we won that prestigious title. But after that, look at the individual performance. The people around the world, as you mentioned, I do my show and upload on YouTube, and you can see number of comments even from India and around the world that why this wicketkeeper is in your team and he is captain of your team. Why you people not changing him? There was a comment who was saying, if Misbah Haq and the PCB doing so many experiments, bringing the players in and taking the players out, then why not they can try another wicketkeeper in the team? And I really wanted to say it, we need to change him. I seriously believe that what happened in the test cricket, because he's proven failure when it comes to test cricket. He did so well in the T20s, but I believe that probably this is the beginning of another fall. Like the Sri Lanka, they beat us in the UAE in test series, you remember?
Chandimal was the captain.
We were at the higher ranks in test cricket and we just came down. Now we are at the number 6 or number 7. Probably this is what I'm saying, this is what is going to happen if we don't take properly measures. And in the T20 at the moment we are number 1, but look what we have done in this year In 2019, we lost 5 matches and won just 1. But what you are asking about Sarfraz, I really believe that if they can give chances to the players like Ahmad Shehzad and Umar Akmal, and there is no reason that they can't give chance to his brother, that is Kamran Akmal, doing so well. Okay, fine, there is they say that he's not a very excellent wicket keeper. Okay, fine, Sarfraz, he also misses chances.
Yeah.
It's not like this that he's very active behind the wicket and he doesn't drop the chances. Yeah, obviously. He also does. But compare the batting of skills of both the players. Sarfraz is nowhere near to Kamran Akmal. He has proved at the domestic level, he's making runs at the T20 or the ODI, even the 4-day cricket, he's making centuries. Then there's why you are not giving chances? If you are giving chances to the players who are performing well at the domestic, then why not Kamran Akmal? Why not Rizwan? I believe that probably he would be better. And I recall his World Cup match against Australia. Number 10 batsman is playing with you. You took a single and
gave
you
him
remember,
the strike. Yeah,
gave him the strike.
That was very
and
brave
then
of him.
I was watching the match of Ben Stokes that won Ashes match single-handedly, and we required only 30-35 runs. Look at the sense of a player that he's captain and he's taking single and bringing the number 10 or 11 batsman to face. So this is defensive mindset, and they keep saying that he will promote his batting order. Even he promote his batting order, he come at the top level or opener or one down, I believe that he won't be able, because this is not his game. He's not doing well, and we are expecting so much that is probably not there.
Not there as well. Mubaram, the leader is someone who actually leads from the front and brings the whole team up. Rizwan is absolutely right that the negativity surrounding Sarfaraz is actually bringing the entire team down. And I'm pretty sure if it continues like this, then these 10 or 15 bunch of players in the side, and we don't want that in Pakistan. That has happened before, that another lobby would come out saying that we don't want him as a captain.
Yeah, exactly. Sarfraz is not so much of a T20 batsman, because his play of action is totally different. He's not a big hitter, and his position of coming into the field is so much. He comes after 4 to 5 down, so that requires a massive kind of hitting.
Like Maxwell,
yeah, especially in T20 kind of format, and he's not so much into that. So he is not the one who's who's made for T20. We have made Babar Azam a vice captain, so why should not we give him a chance to lead as a captain in the T20 formats? Sarfraz, indeed, he's a batsman who stays on the pitch, and as we discussed earlier in the previous show, that Sarfraz need a good inning. Let's just leave that. But just the thing. I believe that Sarfraz should be replaced as a captain, and now, because we have coming the T20 World Cup.
Yeah, just a couple of months left.
Yeah, exactly. So if you have to do it now. It should not be like that as we have done in the previous World Cup, that Sarfraz was not clear as he is going to be a captain or not, and he was just announced as a captain right before the World Cup or a month before a World Cup. So this is not something you can have a performance from a player who's been struggling with his mindset.
Struggling with his mindset, and since we are talking about Sarfraz, I mean, if I just ask my production crew politely that if they can queue up the dismissals that we've been showing you in the previous games, previous shows as well, of the two T20s that were happening. Once they queue it up, I'll definitely highlight how Sarfraz has gotten out. Both times on a spinner, and yesterday it was mentioned once again as well. This was FAKHAR ZAMAN. Now, if you see Babar Azam at number 2, and definitely this would go there as well. Right, this is now live from the Gaddafi Stadium in Lahore. President Dr. Arif Alvi is pinning those pink ribbons on the 2 captains first, and then of course the different sides as well, because it is pink here in Gaddafi Stadium at Lahore, and definitely we're celebrating the Breast Cancer Awareness Week, and this is a great scene there. The president would be pinning these ribbons to both the skippers and the 2 teams as well, and definitely this will go on forward, where the crowd will also be wearing pink. There you see Chairman PCB Ahsan Mani alongside captain of the Pakistan team Sarfaraz Ahmad, President Dr. Arif Alvi there as well, and the Sri Lankan captain as well. Great scenes. Like I said, it's another, you can say, event or an occasion to play for. This is something big now, regardless of whatever happens in this game, the result I'm talking about. I think it's been a great victory for Pakistan, getting international cricket back to the country. sending out a strong message. And we've got great news. It's a great platform, the Sports Extra, to tell you this, that the Australian Cricket Board officials were also here reviewing some of the arrangements, definitely because in the future we might see a tour from them as well. And then a couple of days back, the chief executive of the PCB, Wasim Khan, was in Islamabad to meet a delegation of the English Cricket Board. So that was also on the cards. And this is Ahmed Shahzad. Now, if we move on to these dismissals, you're going to see, and there you see Umar Akmal, as devastating as it can be. And the next one definitely is the one that we're talking about. This is Sarfaraz. Now, completely a judgmental error here. He's bowling a good googly off, and you know how to actually negotiate that. But this is another serious question, Rizwan, that people are often trying to save Sarfaraz, saying that he's a great player of spin. You're absolutely right that there has been no individual performance, even in the Champions Trophy, up till now. No individual performance at all. Some of these guys try to escape the question by saying, oh no, we've not groomed a captain. I clearly think Imad Wasim has been captaining the domestic side for Islamabad since so many ages. He's been captain of Pakistan team in the absence of Sarfaraz when he was banned from cricket as well. And he proved to be a good captain. He's got that mentality of T20 cricket.
Yes, he does. And you were showing the highlights, the way wicket went down. Sarfaraz was standing at the other end. He saw Ahmad Shahzad got out and he saw the Umar Akmal. Yeah. And he was there and he was witnessing that they both couldn't read googlies. And interestingly, he goes there, face, and the next ball
himself got out.
It shows that how good he's a player of spin bowling. Just witness two players who could not judge the ball, and the next ball he was there and he also couldn't judge it. As you mentioned, apart from that Sri Lanka innings, again in the Champions Trophy,
which had 4 catches dropped, if I'm not wrong.
Just 3-4 catches dropped, and he was ultimately it was a good match for Pakistan. But apart from that innings, you tell me, the people tell us in which innings he did well, in which match he did well for Pakistan. I don't think so. This is the time. Now there are speculations that probably he would not be captain in test format, but I seriously believe that as my brother mentioned that next year it's going to be T20 World Cup, and we have 6-7 matches. It's not like this, there's 1 year left and we have a lot of time. You need to count the matches that we have, just 6-7 matches to do experiments before that World Cup. And this is the right time. We need to find another, I guess, not only the wicketkeeper, but also the captain. Obviously, if he won't be the wicketkeeper, then we need to groom. And I guess he's a good option. He's confident. The way he's performing, I'm talking about Imad Wasim.
Yeah.
Even in ODIs, like his averages in around 50, in 40s, high 40s.
He's a genuine all-rounder.
Yes, genuine all-rounder. And he did well. You can say that maybe in ODIs he doesn't take much wickets, but in T20 he is very vital, because I was looking at the stats. Pakistan did so well in 2018 and 17 and later half of 2016 in T20 cricket. And he does not give more than 6.5 runs at the power play. That is like a great achievement.
And he bowls a new ball,
yes, with the new ball. And he takes occasional wickets as well. And with the bat, we saw in the second T20, like he's good option, capable batsman with the skills, and he can, the sort of batsman we required at our batting lineup.
And the energy you get from a player. Yeah.
And though like communication skills as well. These are small things, they count. And though he's performing well, he's not a bad fielder either. And with the ball he's good, with the bat, and fielding is also good. And I think he would not be a bad choice.
Definitely, and the game has started at the Gaddafi Stadium in Lahore. You can see that the first delivery has been bowled. Once again, we see Imad Wasim opening the bowling, and great scenes here at the Gaddafi Stadium in Lahore. You can see the stumps have donned pink as well. The crowd has these ribbons as well. The players are wearing these pink ribbons that were pinned to them just a short while ago by the Honorable President of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, Dr. Arif Alvi. Of course, they're celebrating Breast Cancer Awareness Week as well, and the sponsors have even made an effort to turn their insignias and logos pink at the same time as well. The action, all of it, is going to be live continuously on PTV Sports, but we'll keep updating you, sharing these visuals as well. You can see that point 1 delivery has been bowled. Sri Lanka are point 2 now. They're 3 for none. Guanathilaka once again, and the dangerous Samra Vikrama also on the crease. A great, devastating opening partnership for Sri Lanka at the same time as well. Now, Mubaram, we did talk about this fact a lot, that we need energy in a T20 side. Rizwan pointed out a crucial name. Kamran Akmal has been banging on the doors of Pakistan cricket since so long. If you've decided not to include, if you had this finalized that you're not going to include ex-players again, then you must have not take his name. That's perfectly fine. But like he mentioned, since you're giving chances to Umar Akmal, Ahmad Shehzad, why not him? And you've got to consider the fact that the T20 World Cup is going to be in Australia. They're going to be deadly bouncy wickets again, and he's probably one of the only persons who's got a great pull and cut shot and has been performing in Australia in the past as well.
Exactly. If the mentality is that you have to give them the chance of the previous player which have not being a part of international team for a while, so you can consider Kamran Akmal as well. But we have a time, or we should, why Pakistan teams is number one in T20s, because we have youngsters, we have energy, we have a level of energetic people. Even if we won't be able to score this much of boundaries, we can, make 1 into 2s and 2 into 3s. This is how the Pakistan team works.
So you calculate it.
Yeah, exactly. So this is, if the mindset is that you are going to, reuse those players who have been a part of this team before, then you should give Kamran Akmal a chance. Or
Definitely.
Else,
Otherwise, there is no option. Now, we've been joined on telephone line by cricket expert and a great anchor, another person who does a great show on television regarding sports as well. And he's been a co-anchor and a great friend he is, and a brother, Mr. Ali Yunus. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Sports Extra.
Everyone.
Right, how are you, Ali?
I'm all good, but just not that happy about Pakistan's performance. The rest is all as well.
Right, I'm sure Lahore has lived up to the expectation of providing the most hospitality towards the Sri Lankans as well, and today is definitely a great day with the pink ribbon celebration. How do you see the game in general now? Because apart from all of these things, I think Sarfaraz is the one who's being talked about a lot. His captaincy and his own performance is really under the scrutiny right now.
Well, absolutely. First of all, if you talk about the hospitality, I think Lahore has been amazing. The crowd has been amazing. It has been jam-packed. Although a few roads are blocked, but that's all right. We can always adjust if such big event is happening in Lahore. So it's all good in Lahore. And if we talk about Sarfaraz, I think the blame has to be on him because he's the leader of the team and he is the decision maker. And I think a few decisions have gone against him. I think he's not done a good job when deciding and planning about this series.
Now, you've been part of this domestic cricket structure a lot. You've been playing yourself as well now. We often say this is our prime product we're going to take players from now. There's a lot of talk about so many of these players. We saw in the domestic Zafar Gohar doing fine performances. Amir Yameen was absolutely brilliant as well. A couple of other names that come into mind as well. How do you see this, that these could have been the series that you could have tried some of these names in order to build yourself up for the T20 World Cup coming up next year?
Absolutely. I think 100% I agree with you that you should have given the chances. I think somebody like Sahibzada Farhan is also in the pipeline as we look at the opener. Rizwan from Islamabad United, he's a very great prospect. So I think this was the right opportunity to give to these youngsters rather than bringing in all players who have already been tested and tried. I think that's where the selector or selectors have got it wrong. Along with Sarfaraz, I would still say, because he's the captain, he has to lead the side in the ground. It should be his decision, and I think he is to be blamed more than anybody else.
Definitely, and I guess it's a bit cliche asking you about Umar Akmal and Ahmad Shehzad. They're not playing today, but do you think the onus is on Misbah now? And because Dino gave a tweet as well where he mentioned, and now the question is being raised, are these too much for just one person, both of these positions?
Well, I don't know. This is a new structure. We have to wait a little bit and then decide that if it is right or wrong. I cannot make a judgment right now over just a couple of matches that we have lost. But as far as Umar Akmal and Ahmad Shehzad is concerned, I think it was a right idea to give them an opportunity. But giving them an opportunity at a time where making Umar Akmal play at number 3 and then winning the toss and bowling first and then putting all the pressure on these youngsters that they are making a comeback. If you really want them to make a comeback, you have to give easy conditions, relaxed conditions to them. Maybe play Umar Akmal at 5 or 6 where he's suited more. But then again, it's all on Sarfaraz that if he is to blame that he's making the strategy. Why would he make Umar Akmal play at number 3 when he's making a comeback? And why would you win the toss and bowl first if why to put unnecessary pressure on your youngsters who are making a comeback?
Definitely, and now if we just talk about the greater cause of this entire series, there has to be the message that international cricket deserves to be in Pakistan now. Sri Lanka are taking back a very strong message. I'm sure you're aware of the fact that the ECB officials also had a meeting with the chief executive of the PCB, Wasim Khan. Then the Australian officials were here as well. So definitely, I guess there is no reason why that ICC should not let cricket happen in Pakistan.
The security has been fantastic. If you look at Lahore and Karachi, both the cities, these forces have done an extraordinary job. There's been no mishap, nothing, and I think this is a very great message to all the teams who are looking at these series, that Lahore and Karachi are great places to play cricket. If they've not played in Multan or Faisalabad or Islamabad or even Pindi, they would have seen more and better crowd and loud crowd over there even. So I think all credit goes to the PCB management and the security forces for managing these matches so well.
Right, thank you so much, Ali Yunus, sports anchor and a great colleague sometime as well, and definitely he's a great brother, like I mentioned, for giving his expert opinion. Now, he's quite right. The onus has to be on the captain because he won the toss in the first game, opted to bowl first, said he's afraid of the dew. Then the coach and the chief selector came out in the press conference saying, oh, dew was the factor that made our batsmen struggle as well. It's pretty confusing at this time as well. But Rizwan, we just can't keep it only on Sarfaraz, Umar Akmal, Ahmed Shahzad and Misbah. There are a lot of other people who have been given so many opportunities, like Fahim Ashraf and Asif Ali, and so far we are yet to see a match-winning innings from them.
Yes, you are absolutely right that it's not the right approach that we just talk about 3-4 players and forget about the others. Pakistan team, they've been doing so well because of some certain reasons. During the power play hours, their economy rate, giving run rate is the best, 6.5. Second best is India, around 8. During the middle overs, Shadab was exceptional. He took like most wickets, 30, 35 wickets.
And now horrible.
Yes, now he was horrible. So in the later part, Amir was exceptional because he also gave away runs at the death, like 6.5 with the economy, and also took wickets. In all these three departments, we didn't do well in this series. And Shadab, as you mentioned, and Amir, he gave away 40 runs without a wicket. And you talk about Fahim Ashraf. I still have to see like his proper genuine inning that with the bat that we can see. Yes, he's an all-rounder. He's just at the moment he's taking the tag of all-rounder, but we have not seen a single innings
performance. Yeah.
Even in the ODIs, his highest runs 28. Like you can't say that he's all-rounder.
He's not a Ben Stokes.
Yes, he's not. But okay, fine. Every team they don't have Ben Stokes.
But that's why I said I'm going to interrupt you this.
Yes.
But you've been watching domestic cricket. You do this program on all of these things as well. We have other options. It's not like we don't have any other option for an all-rounder. You think we have other options that could have replaced Fahim Ashraf?
Yes, we have, and as you asked that question, the names just skip in my mind. Yesterday, he made the century. The guy, Amir Yamin,
yeah.
Exactly. I believe that the number of chances, if they have given him to him, the number of chances they have given to Fahim, I believe that he would have done lot better than him, not only with the bat but also with the ball too. And I believe this is the time and the way Fahim. This is the dilemma in our team, or in our players, you can say. They do well in the PSL, they come into the team and they play for a couple of years and they are not thinking to improve their game. It's a dilemma in a way that you have given the supreme sort of stage that you are representing your country and you need to improve your game with the passage of time. But with the passage of time, we mentioned about Shadab, he is also under the radar when it comes to the ODI cricket. And there's Hassan, he was good at the Champions Trophy. Now his performance, we witnessed in the World Cup what he did. He was not, and then Fahim Ashraf. All these players, they come into the team, they do well for a certain period of time. Then probably the other team, they work out, and over players, they probably don't work to enhance their skill level, and eventually their performances decreases. So this is the way that we, as you mentioned, okay, fine, Sarfraz, Misbah and other players. But what these younger players, we always say that give the chance to the younger players. But what they are doing, they are not improving their games and they need to do that.
Definitely need to do that as well. The talk about giving chances to youngsters cannot be at the cost of costing your national team a series or a loss horrible as this. That's why it's important, Mubaram, to get these guys first in the domestic structure, make them actually work as hard as players do, and get them actually equipped with that kind of mindset for international cricket.
Yeah, exactly. And we have also a concept of A team. We should include them in an A team as well, and start, promoting our A team, arranging them tours and letting them go outside and play the cricket and know what kind of a world outside there is, what are the pitches and what kind of a cricket they have to face once they, get recruited in the international team. So yes, we indeed have to work so much hard, and PSL, gives kind of, advantage to us that we merge the international players, our national players and the youngsters together, so make a good team. Apart from that, Shadab is also struggling, and I have noticed that Pakistan teams, when the one side is down, all of the sides
Everything
are also
goes down, yeah.
It goes with the combination. So it's not like if somebody is performed well in one department, so everyone is performing well in their own particular departments. But if somebody has not, so the whole team go into the
A domino effect.
Yeah, exactly. So this thing needs to be taken care of, and I've been also saying in the previous that we have already sacrificed this series just to experiment, and it was a big thing for the Misbah, as it was going to be a first time taking
The head
a
coach
lead,
and,
exactly,
yeah,
and a
chief
selector as well. It was Babar Azam's first series as a vice captain, and it was Pakistan's home series after a while. Sri Lanka is coming, so yeah, it needs to, we need to have, focus that we should have won that series. We shouldn't have gone into the experimental zone as it is coming after a while. And we are considering, a T20 best side. So yeah, we should have won the series. And in the third match, we could have experiments.
Definitely, yeah.
But you are doing exactly the vice versa. You have experimented in the first two T20s, and then you are going for the, your specific record in the last T20 just to save, your respect or whatever you can say.
Whatever you can call that as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you talked about experiment, as I mentioned before. No, Sri Lankan beat him. They are doing the experiment.
Yeah.
They are giving
It's been the other way around.
Ahmad, we talk about Ahmad Shahzad and Umar Akmal.
Yeah.
Like the people who talk in their favor, they say that they are doing comeback. If they fail? But how many comebacks? They are at the international cricket from like 2008 and 9. It's been more than 10 years, and they have played. Umar Akmal played more than 80 T20 matches and more than 120 ODI matches. Ahmad Shahzad is also there. You can say that if a player is playing for the very first time at the international level or if representing the country, you can say that he would probably be under some pressure. But a player that they have played so much, how you can say that they are under pressure? And look at the innings of Ahmad Shahzad. In both matches, he scored 17 runs on 25 balls. Or
defensive.
in the power play.
Purely defensive.
Yes, in the power play, like other teams, like they do attack, they try to have some easy boundaries because of the field restrictions. And look at Umar Akmal, he is a legend. He didn't waste any delivery. Just the 2 deliveries that he
saved your team.
Yes, required to. And we also need to appreciate Sri Lankan team.
Yeah.
Look, the young team, they came, and before the series, we used to say that we even don't know their names. And they made it sure that we remember their names.
Their names as
the
well,
way they played. And though we are criticizing our team, but at the same time, I believe that they played exceptional cricket. And this is also a fact that they lost 4 series prior coming to Pakistan, and their main players, they lost the series, and the younger players, they came and they have beaten the world #1 team. And if they win today, this would be the first time the Sri Lanka they do the World
Yeah,
Cup.
definitely. You've got to give a lot of that credit to Sri Lanka. I think he's absolutely right. Rizwan has said probably the highlights of this program as well, that you've got to give it to the Sri Lankan team. Hats off to them, the way they were being led by a new captain, the energy they put in the field or in the batting as well. They really gelled up as a unit, and that's what wins you game, when every one of your players comes up as one individual and balances the team as well. This is what helps. But Rizwan, the other talk of the town is the fact that, let's start with the tweet that Dean Jones gave. As an expert and an anchor, what are your thoughts about this? Do you think that these 2 positions, this is the first time this is happening in Pakistan, is it too much responsibility for Misbah-ul-Haq? Do you think it's too much of a burden for one individual to take both of these at the same time?
Actually, I believe it is, because though it happens for the very first time. By the way, that former New Zealand coach Hassan, I guess his name, he also tweeted, he said, partially I agree with Dean Jones, but there's also the difference of culture. Like if there's a friendly culture, then you can continue with having the both positions. But I believe that most of the times he would be away from home with the team as a head coach, and I think a selector should be he should give a proper time he should go to the ground.
Domestic structure.
Yes, domestic structure. Go there, see the players, and look if there are some talented players. So some talented players don't get ignored. We know our culture here: nepotism, favoritism. If you are sincere with your job, you have to go to the grounds. And I believe that he probably won't be able to do justice with both the position that he's having. Okay, fine, he's a head coach, and I think he should also say this to the PCB, because I believe this experiment is not going to be successful, and we need a full-time selector. Though our selectors, their Shehzadas, don't go to the ground, but still, I believe they need to find a dedicated person. I'm not saying that Misbah is not a dedicated, because he would be away with the team, probably you can say 3-4 months.
On a tour.
On tours, obviously with the team. So my point is, you need to find a guy who is sincere and who can go to the ground and look at the talent.
Definitely. This is live on your screens here. Pakistan have managed to pick up the first wicket. Might be the second one. You cannot really call it. And Shadab Khan has dropped the catch. So Pakistan's woes continue. 3.5 overs. Sri Lanka probably 28 for 1. They are. Rajapaksa is at 2. Samra Vikrama is at 12 as well. And you can see Ahmad Wasim clearly mentioning that the catch did belong to Babar Azam, and Shadab just tried to make a hero of himself trying to grab that coming from covers. It was a straight catch to mid-off. I fail to understand why cover would go there. You'll see the highlight and you'll actually judge what I'm saying. This went straight up in the air. Had to be Babar Azam's take, but definitely Shadab has cost them. And straight away, Ahmad picks up it once again. And there's my question answered, that he is a perfect cricketer right now who can perform in your limited overs formats, especially in T20. And the energy he brings is there as well. 4 overs, Sri Lanka are now 28 for 2. Pakistan might just pull this back. Mubaram, this series is already done and dusted. Finally, before we close, I think if we go to this now, the next big thing for Pakistan starts on 3rd of November. That's the tour to Australia. The T20 series is going to be of 3 matches. That's going to be your real-time practice for the World Cup, because you're going to be playing in those grounds that are going to host the World Cup 2020 in Australia. Pakistan has to make sure that the team they send to that series has to be close to your final one.
Exactly, it should not be. It must not be an experimental option. You can have somebody on the squad, on the reserves, like you might play on the replacement, but you need to win the series first. You need to set a combination, because Pakistan's team is all about combination. If your combination is not right, no matter what kind of a high skilled players you are recruiting in the national team, they're not going to perform until you don't get a proper combination. So this is the thing, Pakistan's need to set their combo, because the point I made earlier, that if you want to remove the captain, do it now. This is the time. Send the new captain, send Babar Azam as a captain, or Ahmad Wasim, you just stated, because he can be a next T20 captain. He's energetic, he's a good finisher, he's a good bowler, he's a wicket-taking bowler now. So yes, change the captain if you are planning to, not just right before the World Cup. Yeah, exactly. You have to make it now, because there's a couple of months left and you are experimenting on the captainship. How are you going to make the World Cup?
Give him time to adjust his team as well at the same time. If you get a new captain, he needs to perform and he get his own team into the liking as well.
We have just now left with some months. So if you have to do it now.
Immediately.
Maybe like we will lose 1 or 2 series before the World Cup, but eventually we're going to perform well in the World Cup, and that's what the requirement is. You should be concerned with. So that's it. It should be done like this. You have to make decisions now. It's now or never. If you want to make it to the World Cup, you could have won the World Cup of this 2019 ODI World Cup, but you had some poor choices in the initial stages, so you could
last minute changes cost you.
Exactly. So if you want to make it to the World Cup, if you want to win the World Cup, because your team has the potential. You are number 1 in the T20s. You have number 1 T20 batsman in terms of Babar Azam. You have a great squad. You have a great bowling attack. You have a great spinning attack. So you have a potential. You will waste that potential if you don't make a quick decisions and make a right decisions at this stage now, because you don't have so much time left.
Definitely. Rizwan, what happens after this series? Because these are problems that have been going on since we've been watching cricket now. It's been ages, and sometimes these players and management does complain that these anchors and journalists on television keep on talking about the problems but never give the solution?
Look, after losing the first match, Misbah in the press conference, he said, look, I was telling you, it's not a B team, it's the main players. This is our question, we should be asking this from you.
Misbah,
yes, this is the B team, then why one number one ranked team they lost? So sometimes they take criticism personally, I believe. If team is not doing well, how we can appreciate? Obviously, we're going to highlight the points, like these are the flaws.
That's our job.
Yes, this is what we do. And you said what now? As brother mentioned that now they are going to Australia next month, like 3 T20 match series and 2 test matches. On the 13th, I guess there is going to be a domestic T20 tournament here in Faisalabad, and still management, they have the time. They need to explore new players if they believe there is some real talent, they are players like Khushdil Shah, and there are other time is less, so I don't want to talk on it. But I believe whatever experiment they want to do, they do it, and they need to find some real talent. This is the time they need to get rid from the players, the kind of Akmal and
Desperate players, yes.
And exactly, get your things in order. And as I mentioned, there's though we can say that the World Cup is next year, probably in October, and there's 1 year, but 1 year in a way that you have only 6-7 matches, so you don't have much time to do experiment. In this way, you need to take things seriously. Though it is your first assignment, and I believe that Misbah should have done better, and as a coach and
as a chief selector as well. We've been joined now on the screens and of course on the televisions as well with Ali Imran Danish, our correspondent from Lahore. Ali, what is the atmosphere like in Lahore? What can you witness there? It must be a great scene to witness. That pink ribbon is the bigger cause tonight.
Speak a little louder.
You must be seeing a lot of great crowd coming because the greater cause is the pink ribbon tonight.
A little louder, please.
Ali, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
I'm saying, what is the atmosphere like in Lahore, because it is pink ribbon that you're celebrating tonight?
Yes, I mean, it's celebratory, it's, very joyous, but of course we have lost the first 2 matches, one by 64 and the other by 35. Of course, this is Lahore. Cricket fans have come from all over the country, not just from the city, and they're hoping for a very well-fought match today. They have very high hopes that it won't be a whitewash today, that the Pakistan cricket team will be in their A game. They will play their best cricket today, despite losing the previous 2 matches. It's a joyous atmosphere, of course. The Lahoris, they love cricket. Pakistan, we're cricket fanatics and we love cricket. The atmosphere is very joyous. It's very jovial, a lot of people coming in. They're still entering the stadium, even though the stadium is fully packed right now. In fact, from my observation, there are more ticket holders who have gone into Gaddafi Stadium than the previous 2 matches. This is the final match. The president is here, and of course, a lot of joyous mood. And of course, they're expecting to see the best cricket from the Pakistani side today as well, because of what has happened in the previous 2 matches. Yes.
Right, Ali, how do you see this series now being completed as a success for the management of this entire series, the PCB, the Lahore administration and the security forces?
Yes, I mean, once again, like the previous PSL matches, previous international sports matches, PCB security management, security services, the Lahore administration, city administration, they have proven their mettle again and again and again. For the past several years, there have been PSL matches. There have Sri Lanka and other international teams have also visited. International cricketer players have also visited in various formats of matches. And these matches have taken place without any incident. And, the previous 2 matches also took place without any incident. And, despite everything, they just know how to implement this security mechanisms, the traffic routes, the parking areas, the security services in and around Gaddafi Stadium, aerial surveillance, everything. Security, for example, for these 3 T20 matches, personnel were...
Right, thank you so much. Our correspondent Ali Zamran Danish giving us the latest of details. As he mentioned, it's been a great success for all of the people that were involved with this series as well. Gentlemen, Rizwan and Mubaram, thank you so much. That's all we have time for. It was great having both of you and your expert opinion as well. And definitely, if you want to see more of the analysis from Rizwan, you can catch his show. And you know where to find it, even if I don't tell you. And Mubaram's always here, so you can always actually find out what these experts have to say as well. Now, if you want to see the action, it's live on PTV Sports. Pakistan have so far picked up a couple of wickets, and we want them to salvage at least something. So the crowd, the Lahore, deserves to see Pakistan winning as well. Now, until our next show, from me and the entire team, it's goodbye for now.